Again? He screamed at her, shaking with anger. I am so sorry, she said, looking ashamed. Please forgive me, she whispered with tears running down her face. What is your problem? Why do you keep bedwetting? He asked angrily. It feels like I'm sleeping in sewage every day. What kind of woman are you? I am so sorry, my love. Please forgive me, she pleaded. And the smell, it makes me sick, he said, holding his nose in disgust. I can't do this anymore. Please do not shout. The neighbors will hear you, she begged him, falling at his feet in desperation. I don't care, he angrily shouted. Let the whole world know that I married a useless woman that keeps urinating in bed, he screamed, irritated. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you get to enjoy only the most interesting short stories. Please do not forget to like, leave a comment and share. If you've not yet, please subscribe and hit the notification bell to receive an update whenever I post a new story. In the heart of a small African town, there lived a woman named Kemi. She was a vision of African beauty, with skin the color of rich mahogany that glowed under the warm African sun. Her full lips were painted with the hues of a sunset, and when she smiled, it was as if the world itself lit up with joy. She possessed a beauty that seemed to radiate from within. But it was her skill in crafting beads that truly set her apart. From a young age, Kemi had a gift for transforming simple beads into intricate works of art, each piece telling a story of its own. In Kemi's region, beadwork was more than just a craft. It was a tradition passed down through generations. From her grandmother, Kemi learned the ancient techniques of bead weaving and pattern making. With nimble fingers and a keen eye for detail, she soon surpassed even the most seasoned artisans in the town. As word of Kemi's talent spread, people from neighboring towns began to seek her out. They would come bearing gifts of beads from distant lands, hoping that Kemi would work her magic and turn them into something truly extraordinary. Her enchanting beauty and her craft made her very popular. Men from far and wide would come to court her, each one more handsome and charming than the last. But no matter how sincere their intentions were, Kemi could not bring herself to accept their advances, for she knew that if she were to reveal her secret, they would all flee. Ever since she was a young girl, she had struggled with bedwetting, a condition that plagued her nights and filled her days with shame and embarrassment. She had tried remedies she thought would work, such as avoiding taking fluids during the day and getting up to relieve herself in the middle of the night. But nothing worked. This left her feeling frustrated and helpless. Her parents and siblings didn't help matters. They had always been quick to castigate her whenever they discovered her wet sheets or soiled clothes. Their constant criticism only deepened Kemi's sense of isolation and shame. Their words cut deep, leaving scars on her heart and affecting her self-esteem. Her secretive nature and low self-esteem stuck with her even as a grown woman. She had learned to hide her feelings and secret, refusing to let anyone see her vulnerability. Her saving grace was her bead-making talent. It helped keep her busy and forget her troubles. The praises she received from her talent helped soothe her misery. Countless suitors came knocking at her door, but Kemi kept refusing their advances. People around her began wondering why such a beautiful woman refused to get married. Rumors began to swirl about why she had turned away so many suitors. Some claimed she was sick, while others whispered that she was cursed by dark magic. But The most outlandish rumors of all were those that suggested Kemi was not a true woman, that she lacked the essential parts in her body that made her suitable for marriage. Kemi tried to ignore the rumors at first, but they became louder and more hurtful as time went on. The gossip made her feel very sad and lonely. Desperate to put an end to the gossip once and for all, Kemi made the decision to marry the first man who showed her pure love. She hoped that he would accept her flaws and love her for who she truly was. And so, when a kind gentleman named Tom came into her life, she saw in him the chance for a fresh start, a chance to finally put an end to the rumors. She knew that with him, she would always feel loved and accepted. After they got married, Tom soon found out about Kemi's bedwetting problem. At first, he played it cool and understanding. He said it was okay and that accidents happen. But as time went by, he became very impatient. He started to get very angry every time Kemi wet the bed. Again? He screamed at her, shaking with anger. I am so sorry, she said, looking ashamed. Please forgive me, she whispered with tears running down her face. What is your problem? Why do you keep bedwetting? He asked angrily. It feels like I'm sleeping in sewage every day. What kind of woman are you? I am so sorry, my love. Please forgive me, she pleaded. And the smell, it makes me sick, he said, holding his nose in disgust. I can't do this anymore. Please do not shout. The neighbors will hear you, she begged him, falling at his feet in desperation. I don't care, he angrily shouted. Let the whole world know that I married a useless woman that keeps urinating in bed, he screamed, irritated. Tom went on to kick Kemi out of his house and threw her belongings out. Nosy neighbors who had come to eavesdrop after hearing their quarrel witnessed the drama in shock. It was a very embarrassing situation for Kemi, and she felt very humiliated. With tears in her eyes, she picked up her bags and left. Kemi rented a small place for herself. She did not want to go back home, afraid that her parents would mock her if they found out why her husband had kicked her out. In her small room, she was lonely and devastated. Many are the nights when her pillow would be drenched in tears. She felt like the sorrow and humiliation intensified with each passing day. Who will ever accept me with this problem? I am better off dead, she thought. To get a relief, she decided to end it all. She bought a rope and set up everything she needed. Before she could hang herself, Kemi decided to write down notes of her thoughts and feelings, to be found by those who would find her body. She began writing down about her life. As she scribbled, realization slowly dawned on her that despite her struggles, she had many things to be thankful for. She was very beautiful, healthy, and talented. Her bead business was flourishing, with plenty of customers who appreciated her work. Why throw away all the good things in my life because of a few bad things? She thought. With a newfound sense of gratitude, Kemi decided to focus on the positives in her life. Maybe, just maybe, out there, somewhere, I will one day find a solution, she thought. But where could she start? It was a very embarrassing problem. Maybe someone wiser and more knowledgeable could help. Someone who could keep her secret a secret. Someone immediately came to her mind. An elderly neighbor known for her wisdom and kindness. Gathering up courage to share her problem with someone for the first time, she approached the old woman and poured her heart out. The woman listened attentively, not saying anything, her eyes scanning Kemi. When she was done, Kemi covered her face in shame, afraid of the judgment and ridicule to follow. To her surprise, the old woman came closer and embraced her with so much love. She then told Kemi that there were effective solutions for her problem. Really? She asked, surprised. Yes, the old woman answered. She then went on to highlight several remedies for her problem, from herbs to drugs to physical and psychological solutions Kemi could benefit from. As the old woman went on and on, Kemi couldn't help but look on in fascination. You mean all this time there were effective solutions that I didn't know about simply because I was too ashamed and afraid to share my problem? She thought to herself. As she left, she felt re-energized about life. She immediately looked for the herbs and drugs the old woman had recommended. She also implemented the psychological remedies and physical exercises she had been advised to undertake. Slowly and gradually, her problem dissipated. It began with a day when she would not bedwet. Then, after a while, it became 2 days. Then, a week free of bedwetting. Gradually, the bedwetting completely stopped. As weeks turned into months, Kemi began to see herself in a new light. She realized that only she was responsible for improving, loving, and accepting herself for who she was. Her worth was not determined by the opinion of others, but by the love and kindness she showed to herself. With each passing day, her self-love grew stronger until she radiated with an inner light that shone brighter than any star in the sky. With her newfound internal joy, her physical beauty shone even more. She attracted very many suitors. Kemi still longed to have her own home. However, choosing a husband this time would be different. Even though she still wanted a man who loved her, she knew that no man or any other person could ever fill the void she once believed existed. It was her duty to love and appreciate herself. Armed with this newfound wisdom, Kemi stepped into marriage with a quiet confidence. She had found the greatest love of all, the love that she owed herself, the kind of love that will sustain her through every twist and turn of life's journey.